I mean, we could all say sales, revenue is suffering, but there's usually a sense of kind of below that very, very top line metric, what is experiencing a challenge in your product or your company, right? And that typically means that the subset of data that you're interested in looking at is better defined. So the first thing is to sort of understand what are you trying to do with that data. And like I said earlier, you know, this talk is much more focused around the optimization side of things. So, you know, here's all of what you need. You don't just need the data. Notice I don't even sort of talk about the data here. What it takes is the right goals, and we'll spend some time talking about these things. But it's the right goals, the right people, the right tools, and I think perhaps the most importantly, the right perspective about this process. And it is a process. It's an evolution. It's any number of things. But you know, you can have a great data and analytics team, but if you're sort of developers that are working on database design aren't thinking about that stuff, it's not part of their DNA, if they're not excited about how analytics is going to drive the business forward, they're not going to design the tables the right way for easy querying. I mean, that's a really simple example. You know, in my world, you end up with this thing where you've got folks, great, you know, let's say you're handling marketing for a particular client, and this morning they talked about sort of, you know, marketing automation and sort of those predictive analytics. Well, at the end of the day, let's say that comes down to, for a particular business, writing good ad copy. If your copywriter isn't thinking in this way, isn't thinking about using data to drive their decision, if they don't understand how to make use of, you know, the data back on subject line testing or whatever, it's useless, right? Like all that data and analytics becomes useless. So